I would say so, at least.
There's variables to it.
There are variables, and there are some consistent too on there. But I think every guy has his own way of being a gentleman. Now, you teach younger men to be gentlemen. You on the gentleman's club.
Yeah.
Right. So what are some of the consistent that you say that every man needs to have in order to be a gentleman?
In a one-word answer, accountability.
Okay.
So if a man has never had the opportunity or had the nature to be corrected by a man, science has proven you run into certain dilemmas growing as a man.
A little bit there.
So science has proved that if you have never had any form of correction by another man, like father, uncle, dad, coach, granddad, as a young boy in adolescence all the way up into your maturity, it's problematic because when you get in the real world, it's hard for you to work with people and others and then govern things with discipline. So it's very valuable to have wise counsel, not just wise counsel, just another man to sit in the place
of role model
correction. Yeah. To sit in that seat to just advise and govern and be a correction authority guy, figure, whatever the case, it has to be present at some point in a man's life. If without that, this is where you get complete lawlessness. So yeah.
I mean, I think the difference between what he just said and what you said, a role model is someone you're looking up to, but that doesn't always mean that,
role model doesn't equate to someone who's a gentleman.
And he doesn't always hold you accountable, that role model. That's just someone you look up to, someone that you can kind of follow in their footsteps and, kind of strive to be like them. But that's not to say that they're trying to correct you and, shape you to be a better dude.
Right.
He is my role model, but he's a bad example because he does both. But like, I would say that,
wow, I'm on it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But I have my Uncle Jack, let's say Uncle Jack.
Okay.
He, would maybe be a good role model to somebody somewhere, not me. But he's not going to be the person to, tell you, hey, you can't do these things, but that's not to say he's not a role model. He's just not going to go out of his way to, correct you on things.
Right.
And I just think what he's saying is definitely different from a role model.
Right.
So there has to be some relational equity there. So in other words, you just can't go and just say, hey, I'm your uncle, do this. The relational equity, that person, that male has to have a safe haven to know this person is advising because they have my best interest at hand. And so if there's no best interest, there's going to be a defense, especially if it's never been done. So that's why we encourage people to get involved with sports, music, things where there's a coach and there's some advising, there's some correction, because if you don't have that, just imagine this young boy grows up, has never had that. He goes in the real world, no gifts, no ability to make friends,